It's the Daily Dog.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. I am happy to be joined by my wife Megan. So thanks for joining us today. Today's episode is one that we didn't plan on doing this week. When we announced the week on Sunday, we were ready to go and we took a few days off and had a lovely Dream Theater follow up yesterday, and then we did
That
some
was
Metallica
awesome.
today. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a great time at the Dream Theater show. And but here's the thing, y'all. It is Women's History Month during March here in America,
Yes.
and we have been mindful of wanting to include more women performing and doing their stuff here on the channel. And even today, we did a Metallica song with Miley Cyrus joining the band, and that was really fascinating for me to watch her interact with Metallica and perform with them. And earlier this week, I did a reaction to some music by Arion on our Patreon site. We did the entire Human equation, y'all,
The
and that
whole
it
thing.
was fun, but it's
Yeah.
long. And I also did some music by Arion on his Star One and the Lost Children of the Universe.
So good.
And while I was listening to this music by Arjen Lucassen, I heard Irene Jansen, Floor's little sister, singing wonderfully, and I
She's
was like, "What
amazing.
is in the water at the Jansen house?" I mean, holy crap!
They're
It's
so good.
there.
They're so talented.
It's wonderful,
Yeah.
and you were like, well, if that it got you thinking
Yeah.
about looking for some more stuff by Floor because we both
Yes.
love Floor's singing,
Oh
and
yes.
there is some solo stuff that Floor has been doing recently, and you came across. So what did you find?
Well, I saw Floor and Hank um, Jekyll and Hyde, which is one of Doug's favorite shows, and I knowing his connection with it, and knowing how much we both love Floor, I didn't even listen to the video. I did not listen to the song. I
Okay.
just brought it to Doug and I said it's got to be good,
Yeah,
right?
Megan has been
So
very overtly opining behind the scenes for us to do this today, and I said yes if you will come on screen with me. So thank you for joining me today.
I'm happy
The
to do
song that Megan is
that.
talking about is called "Dangerous Game."
Yeah.
It is from Jekyll and Hyde, the musical from the '90s, and she has a new recording out within the last year featuring Henk Poort. And here's what I want to say about it, y'all. Hank is a Dutch actor and a vocalist. He's performed the role of Jean Valjean in Les Mis. He was
Awesome.
Phantom of the Opera, and he has many
Sweet.
accolades. He and Floor have sung together on this TV show, this Dutch TV show called Bestie Zangers.
Mm.
And
We may need to do sometime on the channel the Floor and Hank singing Phantom of the Opera,
yeah, I
because
know
that's
that
out
that
there
one.
too.
I know that's out there. I haven't
Yeah.
listened to that one, but we decided to go with this one today
Yeah.
because I love this musical,
Yeah.
y'all, and I have a history with this show. I came to know it during my high school years in the 1990s,
Yeah.
and it's weird. The way that they did this show is odd. Most of the
Mm.
time, when you write a Broadway show, you workshop it, you kind of woodshed it, you show it to a few test audiences, you get the kinks, ironed out. You go and you do some test runs with audiences, and then eventually it makes it to Broadway if you're lucky. The way that they did this, they did some of those shows. They did them down in Houston, and they were trying out the show, and they recorded an entire concept album recording in 1994. The show didn't make it to Broadway for like several years later, but they
So
did
interesting.
this 2 CD set that was the entire complete works, like a
Yep.
concept recording of this as a cast recording, and it had never been even performed on Broadway. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
And the male lead part in this, y'all, in Jekyll and Hyde, is one of the more
I love him.
challenging.
Oh, the character. Sorry.
Yeah, the character.
Role.
Yeah, so
sorry.
you're thinking.
I'm jumping ahead.
You're thinking
Sorry.
about Anthony Warlow.
You do,
right?
I am. Keep
So
going.
the original role, the role of Jekyll and Hyde, is one of the, in my opinion, is one of the more challenging baritone / tenor, call it a baritenor, role that I have ever come across and witnessed in musical theater repertoire. It's really. It really stretches the vocalist from low to high to color differences, because you have to sing as Jekyll and as Hyde, sometimes in the exact same song.
Yeah.
Right? And so what they did was they hired Anthony Warlow, who is from Australia, and who reminds me a little bit of Henk Poort, actually. Down in Australia, Anthony was in Phantom of the Opera. He was, I think, the youngest Phantom ever to be in a major lead of that. And he did it down in Australia. The song "This Is the Moment" is from this show. And I just loved Anthony's voice. And that's where I learned, that's where I got to know his voice. So if you have not heard Anthony sing, it is worth your time. He's one of the best.
Amazing.
And Linda Eder originated the role of Lucy, which is the role that Floor is going to be singing in this particular song. She originated the role both on the concept recording and on Broadway, and has gone on to a lovely career. So one little more bit of backing information. This song, Dangerous Game, takes place in the middle of the second act. It's a 2-act musical. It's in the build-up towards the climax here. And it is sung by Lucy, who Floor will be singing that role, and Hyde. Okay? So Henk is going to be singing the part of Hyde. And in this particular song, Lucy... Well, the backstory a bit. I think we all know a little bit about Jekyll and Hyde. Yes, okay. Lucy is a prostitute, a woman of the night that Hyde and Jekyll both meet during the course of the story. They have an attraction to each other, and she begins to fall in love with him and gets into a bit of a love triangle with him and Emma, who is his fiance. And at this point in the show, Lucy is visited by Hyde, who tells her that he's going to be absent for a while because the transformations between him being Jekyll and becoming Hyde are becoming a little more uncontrollable. And she is scared, but she's also falling deeper into this relationship with him, and she can't quite turn away from his magnetism. So this is them talking about their relationship being a dangerous game. And I am eager to hear what Floor does with this. I love Linda Eder's voice. Linda did this originally. And I love Anthony Warlow's voice, who did this originally. So but based on the little bit that I've heard of Henk and what I've heard of Floor in this past year, I have high expectations.
Yeah.
So are we ready? This is Dangerous Game from Jekyll and Hyde, as sung by Floor Jansen and Henk Poort. Here we go.
I feel your fingers cold on my shoulder.
She could sing me the phone book, y'all.
Your chilling touch.
Yeah.
As it runs down
Danger.
my spine.
Well, dangerous is in the title.
Watching your eyes
Minor 4.
as they invade
Back to
my
1.
soul. Forbidden pleasures I'm afraid to make mine. At the touch of your hand, at the
Okay.
sound of your voice, at the moment your eyes meet mine.
Oh, I love this.
Down by half step, down by half step, and then into the third of the key. Cool. There he is.
Like a hand in a flame,
And our senses proclaim it's a dangerous game.
All new orchestrations.
Darker dream.
So this is a fresh arrangement.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
It's got a little more rhythmic intensity than the original.
You believe that it's true.
I enjoy that. It drives it forward.
Dance of death. Out of a mystery tale. The frightened princess.
So there's just the basic four chord
Know what to
and the dominant.
Will the ghost go away? Will she will them to stay? Either way, there's no way to win.
all I know is I'm lost, and I'm counting the cost. My emotions are in a spin. I don't know who to blame.
It's got a metal edge to it, which not many concept recordings of Broadway songs do. Then right into unison or octaves.
Nice.
Sorry. Dominant,
Yes.
up by a half step. That was a,
This is amazing. I love this.
I don't know about the transition, it was a little clunky, but this is cool. With the horns in the background.
I know, I'm hearing
It's too
it.
bad they couldn't be real. She's on a C, he's on a high G.
It's a dangerous game.
Ooh, that was so
And then they did that. They did that. It's
Whoa.
a dangerous. It's the 5. They modulated to F, hang on. They modulated to F minor. They were in E most of the time, and then they hit that dominant, that extended dominant, and that yada bottom beat. That's the 6th
Yeah.
note, the flat 6 going back down to the 5th. It's part of that dominant expansion, and they're on that B chord as a dominant to E, and then just rip right to F. Right, which is a bit of a whoa. That's why my back went straight there. But they upped the intensity by going just a half step higher, right? And then the angels proclaim, and she's on that C, and he's going all the way up to the high G, which as a baritone is a real clarion, nice high note for him.
Yeah.
And then it's a dangerous. On the 5th of the chord, the 5th of the key, and it goes back a cappella like the beginning, and they stay there. They don't go back home. They stay there, so it's like unfinished, and a really nice
It
choice.
makes you want to know, like, what happens next?
What happens next
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
dangerous game?
This dangerous game.
Really, really fascinating. It's a wonderful show, y'all, that
know you're
I have hard feelings about, because I got to know this musical while I was in high school, and I just loved it. You know, listening to that concept recording,
it's
I listened to it
fantastic.
many, many, many times, and
Yeah.
then we end up on the East Coast at some point in the future, and we're able to attend Broadway shows a little more easily living in New Jersey than living in Kansas City.
Right.
You know, and so I remember one time back in the day, we're like, we need to go see Jekyll and Hyde, because it was still on Broadway at the time, and I just feel like it didn't have the run that it could have, because I think it was miscast in a lot of circumstances. Like I said, that lead role, you hear Hank singing excellently, right? You need a professional vocalist that can handle all of that to really make that role pop. And I think that they missed the mark. And the as a result, the show didn't have the long run that I think that it could have. But the music is wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
There are many fantastic songs from this. And if you are interested in learning more about this particular musical and these songs, my suggestion is the complete works, the concept recording from 1994. That's my favorite recording of all this stuff. But
It's excellent.
that's in the running.
These two.
If they did another recording of this, like in the studio, and they hired Floor to be Lucy,
You mean like to re-record the
whole
show?
thing.
Oh, nice.
now that's what I want, because that's as wonderful a portrayal of Lucy as I've heard in a long time.
Oh,
I even
fantastic.
love the spot where they both turn to, and they turn to the camera. It's like
Yes.
they're singing off, right, for a while, like they're singing and
like to each other.
and making
thing.
their emotions sort of palpable in the space, right? They're
Yeah.
voicing what they feel, and then they break the fourth wall and they're right at you. And we got the double lean in.
Wait.
Oh wait, should we?
The double lean.
We did it together. That's going to be a GIF at some point. Fun. We are endeavoring, my friends, to include more women musicians on the channel. In
And we've
fact,
gotten some emails at it's the Daily Doug at Gmail. We have some really cool, really cool.
stockpiling some
Suggestions from
selections on the
folks.
list. We
Yeah.
also this month on our Patreon
Yeah.
are doing a in our fan favorites series.
Mm-hmm.
We are asking our patrons about some of their favorite songs that are written by women, sung by women, performed by women, and I'm looking forward to doing that video exclusively for our Patreon community at the end of the month. But it was great to fit this one in. I love this show, one of my favorites, and I love Floor. And I think I'm going to say I love Hank, too, because good Lord, he can sing.
Oh, amazing.
Wonderful stuff.
This was fantastic.
Wonderful stuff. So thanks, y'all, for hanging out with us today and listening to Dangerous Game, as sung by Floor, Jansen, and Henk Poort from the classic musical Jekyll and Hyde. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us today, and we will see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.